toffee. That's a really good one. Emma always likes the toffees, you see. And I think that's why our friendship has lasted over 20 years, because we don't argue over the same sweets. It's great. Good morning, everybody. How are you? It's been a busy old morning here at Natasha Makes. Let me just get that underway there. Are we all present and correct? Good morning, good morning. Now, who have we got? We've got Anne, we've got Lorna. Good morning, and Patricia. And Gillian and Elizabeth, hello, and Jackie and Ella and Kaz, good morning, and Val and Jackie, hello, hello, hello. So whilst you're coming in this morning, we have got all sorts of different goodies. I have made a decision. Jane's in the corner looking decidedly worried right now. She doesn't know what my decision is. My decision is, and I made it on the phone with my mum yesterday, my decision is that if Christmas is going to be weird this year, then we just need to make it as lovely as we can and enjoy the festive period with all the lights and the bling and the making things look beautiful that we can. That's my decision.
That's a good decision.
So, good morning, good morning. So what I've done is, as promised, I found some of... I managed to get some of the Christmas decorations. Now, I know some of those have already sold out because you love them. And I will see what else I can get for you. And I'll show you the tree that we finished off yesterday. And the sleigh that Inga's just finished. Look, she's done a two-tone one. See, if you turn it, she says, I've got to be careful because it's not dry yet. But if you turn it around that way, it's different fabrics. But it's got all the goodies from the show in it today. They're good size, aren't they? Well, funny you should say that because, and I left one of these without a ribbon attached so that when it opened I could show it on air. Oh, it's that one, it is that one. I hope I'd got it right. Because when this opens, look, that is full of chocolate coins actually that are meant to go in the kids' advent calendar. But they might have found their way in there. So anyway, look, you will have 4 that attach like that so that it just opens up invitingly. You see, the Revels were meant to go in there but didn't quite make it. So that, I love this. I'm so pleased that I finished off making it. I don't always... Where did I just put the lid? I had the lid. There. Look, you mean like there? Yeah. I don't always get around to finishing off all our samples, but I'm so thrilled that we did. Doesn't it look fab? I just... adore that. Jane is standing by, not because she's doing a show today, she's doing her show tomorrow, but because I wanted to show you. She just literally 2 minutes before the show started said, oh, Natasha, did you want to have a look at... Do you want to see? So this is a Pam and Nikki Lintott, isn't it?
Yeah.
Quilt. And we had great fun choosing the fabrics, and Jane has been a bit of a miracle worker and worked her magic, but how stunning! Jane, what's it called? I'll have to repeat because I don't know if people can hear. Snow Crystal. There's some Kaif in there you might be spotting. And then all of the colours were dictated by the Kaif, weren't they? And oh my goodness. It's a big one, isn't it? How big is it?
72 by 72.
72 by 72 inches. Yeah. That is stunning. It's going to keep you warm. Oh my goodness. And in just the most beautiful colours. I heart this a lot. Not going to lie. Absolutely adore it.
It's going to look lovely on your sofa.
It's going to look lovely everywhere. Everywhere. I might even repaint my bedroom so that it goes in there. You never know. If I get a spare day, I might do that. Jane, thank you. This is going to be on sale on tomorrow's show. So let's just wind that up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm treading on it. It's super big. It really is very, very big. She's a clever thing, isn't she? Hey? Very clever. Bye. So, yeah, it is seriously beautiful. I might have to put my hooks for the quilts up a little bit higher. So things to tell you today about, yeah, it is a very pretty quilt, Laurie. So we will be let me just shut the door so the cats don't come in. We will be getting that pattern for you. It's a Pam and Nikki Lintop pattern, super beautiful. So we'll get that for you as well. Morning Louisa, morning Donna, it is a beautiful quilt. Morning Christine. Similar pattern to a carpenter's wheel. Ooh, I don't know that one. I'll have to have a little look. What else did I have to show you? Now Emma did tell me which ones had the pattern of the quilt keeps changing from star to tumbling blocks. That would keep me entertained for hours. Do you know what, Elizabeth? Whatever works. Whatever works. So to keep you entertained for hours today, what have I got for you? I don't know if this one is already sold out, but somebody asked me the dimensions of it. Basically, yesterday on the show, I started dressing the set because it's rude not to, because it's nearly Christmas. And look at that. So that's how big it is, and I promised that I would measure it. I've already bought it, so I mean, you know, that's 11 inches by, let's see, by about 7.5. There you go, that's how big that one is. I just love the little lights up the back. The detail in it is stunning. I will see how many more of these I can get. It's one of those things, it's not that it's particularly sewing related, but it is beautiful. So, you know, I'll deal in beautiful quite happily. I also love this. Look at this little one. The kids absolutely love this one as well. They're like, it's a tree, mummy. And it's got all the lights in there as well, all made out of wood. Ah, so you've got your leaping stag. There it is. So I think we might still have a couple of those. You never know, might. What else? Ems, I can't remember, had this one gone? Oh, I love this. I might be able to get a couple more of these as well. I will ring my supplier and investigate this afternoon. Do you want to see this one close up as well? It's just the detailing in it, look. Got all the stars and everything, and then you've got like a silhouette of a tree down there, and then you've got your stag there, and then going through it you've got that branch with the light all around it, and it just throws the most incredible shadows. It's really beautiful. Yeah, now the other thing to say is we have got, I'm getting Christmassy, I can't help, I didn't think I would this year. Yeah, both gone. Okay, right. I'll see what else I can get. Only the tree left. What, that one? That tree? Okay. Thanks, Ems. I'm getting stock updates with Merry Christmas. That one, yes. I don't know how many, but not very many. Oh, Rachel's Morris Mineral Fat Quarter arrived today. Yes, good. Good morning, Ali. Hello. So, the wreath, the Christmas wreath. This was something that I have wanted to do for a little while, and I've been badgering our local florist if she would come in and do it. She's ever so lovely. In fact, it turns out, small world, isn't it? It turns out that my husband's actually catering her wedding next year. Very bizarre. But besides that, and she's got a little family run florists, and she does really beautiful things, and that's where a lot of the Christmas stuff has come from. And so she would normally do workshops for people to make wreaths, and of course she can't do that this year. So what she's done instead, I said, come on the show, we will send out in advance the wreaths and then come on the show. So she's going to come on the show on the 30th of November. She's never done anything like it before in her life, but she's going to come on the show on the 30th, and she's going to do a wreath along. Fabulous. I'm so excited. And this is the wreath here that we're going to wreath along with. I don't know if that's a word. It is now. So what you will get, it's £30, and you will get the ring. Let me show it. Oh gosh, it's quite heavy, you know. Like, it's a proper job. So you get the ring and all the moss and everything else. So that all gets wrapped with wire and everything. All of that comes with it. You get all of it's all real. And oh, it smells amazing. It smells so good. And then you're also going to get your cinnamon sticks and everything that you, the whole lot, the ribbon, everything. Oh, it smells proper Christmassy. And your orange bits and your pine cones. In fact, I think that's the only bit that's not real. Some of the little berries and the little fruity apples. The rest of it smells absolutely divine. And you get the whole kit. So all of that will be delivered to your door, ready for the 30th, ready for that Monday, and then she'll come in and we will have a wreath along and she'll show everybody how to create that wreath. So if you think that is what you would like to do, then you need to get your orders in by... Let me think. It needs, orders need to be in by Friday so that we can then get those kits made up and sent out and posted out midweek next week so that you'll get them in time for the Monday. Gosh, it's it's tricky, isn't it, organising everything? So that's what we would really like to do for you. And if you fancy coming and having a little wreath along with us, then do. If not, then just join us anyway. We'll hopefully get you in the Christmas spirit. And does that mean we need eggnog? I don't know what eggnog really is. Is eggnog nice? Don't know. I'm curious. I'm not sure that any drink should have egg in the title. It makes me nervous. Debbie's looking forward to that. Excellent. Geraldine said, what a lovely thing to do to support your local shop. It's a beautiful wreath. It's very easy to, Geraldine, when people produce beautiful things like that. Let's face it, if it was really ugly, I'd be like, awkward. I'm joking. No, it is. I do like to support local. I like to support British. That's why, when we had the choice of where the scarves were made, it had to be in the UK rather than going abroad for them to be made. Well, where we can, we support here because this is where we are. Alrighty, so let's recap. What else is there to do? So we've done the tree. We've seen the tree. I just need to show you that again because I think it's beautiful. Let me spin it around so that the one that I haven't attached is at the front so that you can, there we go. So there we are. If you went for the mega bundle yesterday, you will be getting the tree, you will be getting the sleigh, without the bits and bobs in there. That's I love what Inga's done there. Inga made this for me this morning. She's had a lovely time. And to let you know, the matte smoothers, which come in the worst packets known to man, the matte smoothers are back in stock because I know, Anne, you've been waiting for one of those, haven't you? They're finally back in stock. A lot of this stuff now is starting to filter back in from America, which is great. For those that have been waiting, some of this stuff you just can't get in the UK, and there's nothing like it either to get it here either. The lint magnet is back in stock. The goddess sheets are back in stock if you've been waiting for those. They really are superb. And the tea rose garden best press is also back in stock. What else have we got? The Mistifuse in the white and the black is also back in stock. So if you were waiting, if you were someone who was waiting for any of those to come back into stock, they are now back in stock. So you are good to go with those. We've been waiting for the goddess sheets for about 6 or 7 months now. No word of a lie. They've been ridiculously hard to get hold of. So let's just chug that along to there. Also back in stock are the cutting mats. So if you were after the super big cutting mats that I use, then they are now back in stock as well, which is excellent news. But again, really limited in number. I've only got a couple of those, but they're tagged on today's show, so they're easy to find. Right. Now, you're wondering what we're making today, aren't you? So am I. We had a bit of an eventful morning this morning. Oh, no, one last thing to tell you. I promised you, didn't I, that I would start to put together Christmas hampers, Christmas gifts and things like that. So the first one I've put together, and it will come in one of these 4 boxes. So my aim is to get an advent box together in the next few days. I'll get it ready for you by Monday. If you want that it's really hard because I want to put good quality stuff in there. I would rather only do a handful of those and get the quality really top notch. And if you want to spend that money on absolutely perfect stuff, that doesn't matter if you already have what, I'm really careful about what I put in, that if stuff goes in, it doesn't matter if you already have something similar, but the quality of what's going in is beautiful. And also little treat things that you might not have bought for yourself, but make beautiful gifts. So they're in there as well. And that will be the Advent box. Now this will be the Christmas Day gift. So if you, these are $24.99, okay? And they've got, I think, 8 different gifts in there. All top quality. There's things like Fiskars and Liberty and stuff like that in there. I'm not going to say any more about what is in there, just that I would be really happy to receive every single item in there myself. Okay. So yeah, everything is absolute top-notch quality in there. They're $24.99. So if you know someone who sews and you want to gift it, then you can. It will be in one of these boxes, either in a round one or in a square one. And the boxes are absolutely beautiful. And I'll show you an empty one because I don't want to spoil the surprise of what's in there for anyone that's buying for themselves, because this year's been really rubbish and you just want to have something nice to open on Christmas Day. But the boxes are all plastic lined as well, so that if you want to then put a plant or anything in there afterwards, then you can, because they're rather lovely. Or if you want to keep the box and re-gift it, I won't write on the tag so that you can recycle those. But so yeah, you'll either get one of the round ones or one of the square ones. And I'm really limited on numbers with these. So if you want one of these, or if you're gifting for someone and you would like to know what's in there, absolutely. I haven't put on the website in case someone's buying it, you know, as a little treat for themselves. So if you'd like to know, just email info@natashamakes.com and we'll tell you everything that's in there, and you can decide if you want it, if you're buying for someone. Otherwise have that surprise. And just trust us that, you know, we're going to put beautiful things in there for you. So that's the starting point. And then yes, I'm also aiming to put together still the 12 days of Christmas. The Advent box, I think, will be this one, which is a bit jolly gorgeous, isn't it? So we'll just pop little gifts in there, and then you pick out a gift each day. That's the idea. So, but our starting point for this, to gauge interest, has been the Christmas Day gift. So if you'd like the Christmas Day gift, that's there. Right, today, what are we making? I'm getting there, everybody. I'm getting there. Is this? Ha-ha! We haven't done cushions for a little while. And this came about because we actually had pillows a bit like this, and I really love them. And it's not long since that they've had to go to the big cushion place in the sky. They were on our bed. They were lovely. They had the most beautiful fabrics, and they were on our chairs at our wedding, and then when they got really tatty, they got relegated to Eric's bed, and Eric's had them on his bed, and now they're just a bit past it. So it was time for some new two-tone cushions, and I wanted to play with different fabrics and, you know, have that contrast. What happens when you put a contrast and have something quite plain, or you could do it the other way around. And so what I've gone for, and this will work with any of the Denim and Liberty fat quarter duos that we've got on the website, is a denim mane edged in Liberty. Now this is edged in Liberty Tarn Lawn, but the one we're gonna make today is gonna be in the jacquard, so that we can have a play with different bits and bobs. So we've got jean denim fabric on the website for you by the ½ meter. This was made out of a fat quarter. And then we've also got self-cover buttons, so that what you can do is match it perfectly. And actually I started off, I made myself a Liberty self-cover button, and but it wasn't quite right there. So I made another one out of denim, and I'm like, yeah, that's the one, that's the one. So I'm really, really thrilled with this, absolutely thrilled. And it's just, it's a pillow slip, it's a whatever cover you want to call it. If you want a pattern for it, it's really not complicated. But if you want a pattern for it, then let me know. I was going to draft one this morning, but we had a little bit of excitement and that didn't quite happen. So, but if you do, just let me know. I can write one up for you. But basically, we're going to, oh, bit of Christmas tree. We're going to work on the assumption of sort of thirds. And that's when you're working with these things, it tends to be in thirds. That tends to be what is complementary to the eye. So that is sort of a third of, and a third and then 2/3 ish, give or take. So the first thing that we're going to start off with is our denim. So I've cut this to, and of course I've got my cutting mat around the wrong way, haven't I? Is to about 17 inches. And it's folded in half. You can do this with 2 pieces. It doesn't have to be one long strip. I'm just going to work on one long strip because I can. And that's absolutely fine. And then cut it to, there we go. We're not square, are we, if we do that? 18 it needs to be. Sorry. Right. Does that? My mat's all round back to front. And my brain's not working today. I'd like my brain back, please. There we go. Let's try that instead. So that's going to be our cushion base. Okay, so it's just 17-inch square, but it's, you know, you can either have it as 2 17-inch pieces, square pieces, or a length that folded in half makes a 17-inch square. And I'm working with denim because I really love it, and it works in so many ways, and it's a classic and everything else. So I'm going to give that a quick press. Ooh, get me being all domesticated. And we're going to look at self-cover buttons, and they're all on the website for you. They're all good to go. They didn't arrive in time for the show, but they are all being delivered. Hopefully, I spoke to them this morning and they'd already been sent out. So hopefully they'll be here tomorrow, which is great. And we're going to work with it. I love this fabric. The jacquard is... just up there as one of my all-time favourites. I make absolutely no apologies for that whatsoever. So it's on sale, I think, is it half metre or metre? But what we're going to do is cut a long strip of this, and we'll go from there. And I can't remember if it's all right to press this, so we'll investigate in a moment. Here we go. Right. I've got a crease in it and I don't want to cut it skew-whiff. And I'm just being really lazy and avoiding actually pressing it. Right, okay, let's just do that. There we are. Okie dokie. So, there we are. So trim off the edges. If you've got your Stripology ruler, I think we're out of stock now, or we've only got like one left, and they're not coming back in until the new year, but they've been super busy. So let's cut this as a 17-inch strip. There'll be loads left over. Look at, now there's two ways that you could work with this. First, well, and also two sides. Let me show you this. We've got these on the website. The only ones that we're waiting to come in now are the navy and red, and they'll be here by the end of the week. So if you ordered the navy and the red, like I say, they're in at the end of the week. They're being posted out today. They've finally arrived. I don't know why there was a delay on those two, but they are on their way. Everything else is in the website, on the website. Now, this is your jacquard. You could do it the other way around. You could do the main body of your cushion in this, and just look at that. Oh, it's just so gorgeous. So what we're going to do is basically put a covering over the edge of that denim, so that will then encapsulate the raw edges. But let's cut those to start off with now. So we are going to have I've got all sizes this morning. We are going to have, let me think about this. So that's 17 inches. So I'm going to cut strips at about 17 inches. So just over 6.5 inch strips. Okay, do we need, there we go, pop the sleigh over there so that we can see a little bit better. So then what we're going to do is decide which way we want to use this, and I think I'm going to go for the bluier side. Do you see there's like a goldy side and a more bluey side? And if I do them like that, you can just see, maybe you can't. Trust me on this. And let me just turn this down and give that a moment just to cool. I'm going to give it a quick spritz with the old best press, and then just check a little corner for the whole ironing situation. Yep, we're good. Excellent. And you might want to pop a little bit of starch spray on, because it is one of those fabrics that is a little bit slippery, just is how it is. Okay, so then we're going to fold it in half and press. You see, I'm cautious with any fabric that isn't 100% cotton, basically. Having numerous times been about to go on air going, oh, I'll just press this, and melted the whole thing. So I'm always super cautious. I'd always rather err on the side of caution. So a little bit of best press on your jacquard gives it a nice bit of body. The other thing that I'm going to be using today is this. Let's spin that up there and bring this out here so that you can see a bit better what I'm doing. This is a seams right gauge. I'm sure that a lot of you have got these already. That's your seams right. And it gives you all of the different measurements that you might ever need for a seam. And we're going to go with this one here with a 1/2 inch seam there. Okay. And we're going to use that to flip over and iron and make sure that my seam is the same all the way along. Okay. So, bink. And if you want, so just fold it over to that edge. If you want to, finger press. But generally, I tend to just press the bit of fabric next to it. And if I had my little iron, then that would have been great. But obviously, it's in my, whoops, Hochanda box. So just I just move it along and check that I am pressing that seam the same all the way along there. There we go. And then the other side, you're going to do exactly the same the other side. That's a little bit out there. So the cotton lawn, when I was using that, that is lovely and super easy. This is going to be absolutely worth just taking that little bit of time to get it straight. So again, folding over, and you can finger press to start off with if you want, or just go along a little bit and press, along a little bit and press, and press. Then I sort of come in from the other end. And press. There we go. Oh, the concentration. So when that's folded over, it's a little bit there we go. And then when that's folded over in half, it's the same, should be the same, both sides. There we go. And then you're just going to repeat that on the other sleeve. Of course, what I've just realised is that I should have done it double, shouldn't I? No! I should have done it double! Because we're going to be folding it over. Oh well. If my mind isn't quite on it this morning, I do apologise. We had a little bit of a situation with Stephen, and he's had to go into hospital this morning. So everything's a little bit rushed this morning, and we're just waiting to hear, because I can't go with him. So yeah. No, so I should have written down the measurement, shouldn't I? Sorry, I wasn't thinking. So that's going to encapsulate on the end, and yeah, that should have been double because we're going to fold it over. Have I got enough? Did I put enough to the side to actually do? I'll do one side right. There we go. We'll compromise and I'll do one side right. Luckily, you do get a lot with this fabric. Let me just check that's my 17. That's my 17 inch there. Now then. Oh dearie me. Right, so what I should have done, ladies and gents, bear with me, and you would do this for both sides, but we'll just do it on the one for now. Gosh, is, here we are. So, a third of 17, by the time you take out seam allowances, is going to be about 5 inches. You want to double that, so that's 10, and then add on your half an inch that you're turning under, so actually that will be 11. That's better, that's the one. Have I just done that? I'm going to double check myself now. Yeah, that's right. That's right, we're there, we're good. So again, press and press your seam allowance. Best press on this really does help. There we are. I think I might even risk turning it up a little bit. You never know. There we go. Now the jacquard comes in all sorts of different colours, and I have loved this fabric for so long, and it's one of those, I don't know about you, that I sit and I look at it and I think, oh, what am I going to make with it? What am I going to make with it? And I think, yeah, you know, because you can use it as a lining, but unless you're doing something really fancy schmancy, and I remember buying some because I was going to make Stephen a nice woolen scarf and then line it in this, like a proper wool scarf, not like a knitted one, because that would look a bit weird, but like a woolen scarf. And this was just when I was learning. I'm like, how hard can this be? And yeah, it was it was above my pay grade. I couldn't do it at all. So then I just sat and looked at this jacquard for years and years and years, and I'm determined to put it to excellent use, because it is so beautiful. And yes, sometimes, you know, like it's a little bit shifty, which is why we put the best press on. That really helps. But it is so worth it, because it is so beautiful. Yeah, I remember the very first show I did where I saw this fabric. I came off, I was presenting it, and I came off air and bought every single colour. I was like, I need that. I didn't know what I was doing with it. I didn't. I'd only worked with cottons. I was like, what's going on here? But I need it. So what we'll do is we'll just, to save time, we'll just put this on one side, but you will get the gist of it. There we go. So we've got basically a sleeve there. Unless you guys are all okay for time, in which case, you know. Let's start with one, see how we go. And you're just going to envelop the end of your denim. And what this does, it gives it a really luxurious feel, because you've got then quite a few layers right on the end. There we go. You've got that bit folded under. Everything is aligned beautifully. Yeah. Let's stick a few pins in. And the reason that we go to the care and attention to make sure that it's pressed in half is because I'm going to just stitch down that edge, and I want to make sure that I'm going to be catching the fabric underneath. If you want to, and you've got the time to do this, if you want to slip stitch this on, then, you know, that would be the dream. And it's pretty easy to see, you know, if everything is aligned beautifully. And it is. Oh, I'm so excited to make this. This is one of those things that I've been thinking about. And I also wanted to make it in the Liberty. So today is a dream come true, kind of a show for me. I'm like, yep, yeah. Oh, while I move that, is everybody all right? It'll be my birthday on your reef along, says Elizabeth. Oh, fabulous. She'll be tuned in. Good. Love that mat. It's the best I've ever had. Oh, this mat, Geraldine. Yeah. So with all the cutting that we were doing when we first started, and I was cutting all the fabrics, with a rotary cutter. Where's it gone actually? On the rule, you know the ones, the Fiskars ones, and they're like 24 inches on, but on a rail, and it was the only way that we could fast cut until we got our electric scissors. But of course we cut through cutting mats because you're constantly cutting on the exact same number the whole time, and no cutting mat is meant for that. So we cut through so many cutting mats. So in the end I got this one, and this is the June Taylor one, because it's not a self-healing one. So it's made of tough stuff that comes up to meet the blade. Rather than allowing the blade to sink in, the mat comes up, and so you get a crunch and you get a really, really crisp cut. And we've never cut through one of those. Oh, that one. Thanks, Jem. Thank you, my darling. Yeah, it was this one. So that was how we cut everything. In fact, did you see that Stephen's stolen my other one, my spare one? Yeah, to cut his labels.
Bit rude.
A bit rude, yeah, a bit rude. Everyone will be like, is he really in hospital with a heart condition? Or are you just getting your own back? No, honestly, no, it was not using my scissors for paper-based. Oh, Jane needs her glasses. Where's she left them? We don't know.
Spot them. If not,
Can anybody spot Jane's glasses?
Look, she's battling on without them.
She's battling on that, and that's not what anybody wants to hear whose fabric is being cut. No, but on the dresser, there's a pair of the magnifying one with the lights on.
Amazing.
I know, they look like something out of Go Go Gadget. So go and see. Go and have a look. This is a regular thing at Natasha Makes. Somebody has always lost their glasses somewhere. And the irony is that I actually bought those glasses things so that you can put your glasses in there, and then lost the entire box. So the gadget that we bought to stop you losing your glasses, we lost. To this day, I don't know where it is. I don't. How can you lose an entire box? We just don't know. Anyway, is this... Are we threaded? Yes, we are. So I am just gonna top stitch down. Oh, okay, no, we are not threaded. We have come unthreaded. Let's rethread. Let's do that. That will work. There we go. Do you think this is my machine saying, you actually should go for a more gold colour? I've gone for sort of a minky colour. I think actually my needle needs changing. I might have had a small incident with yeah, with a nose strip. Guess who wasn't paying attention? So it would probably be kindest and fairest to replace my needle, you know, at some point. Oh, yeah. How beautiful is that? Yes, 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 yes. Let's check us. Yes, caught it on the back as well. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, love it when a plan comes together. Oh, it looks so gorgeous. There we go. So your cushion is going to be, see then the flash that they see, because it is open at one side with just the button that we're going to do the self-cover buttons on. The flash that they see on the inside is that as well. So it's like it's lined. I've got to do the other side. Do you mind? Do you mind if I do that? How wide did I cut that now? Here we go again. I think it was 11. Do you know what? Some days you just got to laugh, haven't you? Because otherwise I don't know quite what you do. So, yeah, that's not the one that Stephen's blunted with his labels. He started doing, for those of you that don't know, this year has been a fun one because my husband and I were made redundant within 4 months of each other. Hooray! And so we've both spent the year in lockdown, starting up our own businesses, trying to look after a family, animals, dogs, everything. It's been fun, to say the least. It's been challenging, to say the least. But it's been fabulous for Stephen because he used to work in recruitment and basically hated it, and now he does. And I remember saying to him years ago, if you could do anything, have you ever played that game? If you could do anything, what would you do? What would you be? And you know that if the answer is pretty much what we're doing now, then all is good. And it wasn't. He was like, I'd run a restaurant. I'd have a restaurant. I'd run a pizza or a steak restaurant. I was like, okay, how do we do that? So I bought him a pizza oven. In fact, all of the family bought him this amazing pizza oven that heats up to 500 degrees and cooks a pizza in like 90 seconds. So he learnt how to cook pizzas, and Stephen, being Stephen, went and researched and learnt how to make his own dough, and then that wasn't good enough for him and he wanted it to be proper authentic Italian. So now he has this amazing dough which is a sourdough, and I don't know if anyone knows anything about baking, but sourdough has like a starter. And I remember actually looking after someone's starter when they went on holiday. They're like, could you just, just look after our yeast starter for us while we're on holiday? Yeah, sure, fine, whatever. And so, yeah, he's now doing pizzas that you can. It started off catering for weddings and stuff like that so that I could take. He just used to do bits at the weekend so that I could take a full year's maternity with Emily, so we could afford to do that. And that was great. And then, so then when he was made redundant, he was like, oh, I'll do pizzas. And then, of course, all the weddings got cancelled. So bless him, he's now got these amazing takeaway pizzas that you can order anywhere in the UK, and they get delivered in. They're frozen, and they just arrive, and you make them yourself. So you get all of the quality ingredients, beautiful ingredients, this amazing sourdough that's the starter of it was started, I think, 118 years ago. It's proper Italian sourdough. It's pretty incredible. And it arrives at your door. And yeah, so he set up this company called the DIY Pizza Company. And Freddie made a video on how to make them. And because loads of families started doing them with their kids. And we started off doing local deliveries with them. This is how it started. And we have a bright, very brightly coloured van. And on one of the local sites, like Facebook, sort of nosy neighboury type groups, Stephen in this van was reported for acting suspiciously. He wasn't, he was delivering pizza boxes, acting suspiciously. It's like, really? If he was going to do anything suspicious, it might not be in a very, very brightly stand-out van. So, yeah, we've had fun with it. And I can't remember what I was telling you all that for. Oh, the fun year we've had. So, yeah. So this year has been fun. And obviously with Natasha Makes, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. So, yeah. Of all the years, we'll see. We always do like a year roundup with a bottle of champagne on New Year's Eve and go, okay, are we where we thought we'd get to? What do we want for next year? And at no point did we imagine this year would be like this. I don't know what anybody else thinks. Okay, so here we go. Let's do the other side of this, shall we? So again, encasing, encasing, encasing. And so of course you can choose your own, you can choose different colours, or you could do it with the velvet. I do love velvet. I saw somebody had ordered velvet actually on the order sheets yesterday. I was like, oh yeah, velvet. I don't know if that was to make some of the pie crust thingamajiggies, but that would be amazing. Just, you know, FYI. Let's do this. Let's do that. All I'm doing is just shuffling that up so that the raw edges are abutting, and we are all then good to then pin. Yeah. And then we're going to put some French seams in it because it's open. I wanted it to be as beautiful on the inside. I didn't want you to see raw edges or anything like that. So I'll show you how to put some French seams in. But do just drop. I don't know. Hang on. Let me have a look. I don't know if anybody's actually said underneath that they would like a pattern. If you want a pattern with all of this detail and even potentially the correct measurements, then we can sort that. That's an easy thing to do, and it just gives me the excuse to make another one, which I'll quite happily take. Very happily take. Challenge accepted. Oh. I'm a bit paranoid now about my needle needing rethreading all the time, but I think we're good. Whee! So down we go. Thank you for bearing with me while I actually cut the correct measurements and sewed this on. And it does. Once you've got it under control, this jacquard sews beautifully. It's just that initial treating with the best press would be my top tip for this, and oh my goodness, it's gonna be so worth it. I've come to the conclusion that we need more sofas in our life because of the number of cushions that I like to make and that come off the show. I don't think a sofa in every room is too extravagant. With a lot of cushions on. Yeah. Alrighty. So then we are going to, and this is where it all fits. Oh, I've just come off a little bit there. I would unpick and stitch it back on, but we're not going to worry too much. So we're going to sew down both sides here, correct sides out. Feels weird, it's okay, it's all right, we're in it together, it's all good. And that's what we're going to do now, is stitch down and I've just used a 1/4 inch seam allowance. There we go, down we go, ding, 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 ding. And then we will trim that back, but I would rather start a little bit larger and then trim back. And then again, beautiful. Down we go. Now you might be asking yourself, well, why don't you just sew a smaller seam allowance? Because it's trickier. So I'd rather just sew a 1/4 inch and then trim it back. I can bring my mat back to where it was now. and rearrange myself. Now, what might be nice would be to do one where the main cushion bit is the jacquard, and do one in reverse and then edge it in a bit of... Right, get your long ruler and then trim that seam back to about 1/8 of an inch, so half what it is. Okay, bing, 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 bing. Just tidy it up. Pick a ruler, a rotary cutter, any rotary cutter. And it just trims up all those edges. Bing. There we are. And you've got the 1/8 of an inch markers on these fab rulers, so you are good to go. There we are. There we go. And of course you can make this any size you want. And if you do want a pattern, then I would write up all the proportions and everything for whatever size that you wanted. Now we turn it inside out. Okay. Push out those edges and press. So just making sure that seam is nicely central there. And pressing the rest of that cushion back. Now you've got a choice here. I'll show you how I did it. And even though that is one continuous piece of fabric, because we've done seams on everything else, I will do a seam down that edge there just so that it all ties in. A treat. So when we sew down, we're going to go down one side, across the bottom and along. Now, we cut that seam back, didn't we, to, I'm going to go in a couple of stitches and then just we cut back by about 1/8 of an inch. So if I go back in with another 1/4 of an inch seam, that should mean that all of those raw edges are encased in there. And this is just a French seam, and I'm probably teaching grandmother to suck a lot of eggs here, and for that I apologise. But if you are new and you're thinking, oh okay, all this means is that we don't see any raw edges. And it also means that it's okay to throw in the washing machine. Now you don't have to put a seam down this edge here because obviously it's folded. I'm going to just to even things up a little bit. If you don't, then it doesn't matter, because it just means that that edge will close a little bit more over that pillow. And that's fine as well. But you can feel with your finger where that ridge of that seam is. So I know that my seam is just in there. And this is why we trimmed it back to 1/8, so that if we come in with our 1/4 of an inch seam, hopefully we won't. She says, it's been one of the mornings. Anything could happen, really. There we go. And this is the moment of truth. So just gently easing out those corners, giving that a quick press. Oh, honestly, I can't tell you how thrilled I am, because this is something that I have been meaning to make for so long, and I'm so glad that I finally made it, because so now it needs a button. It needs stuffing and it needs a button. Gemma. No, Gemma's in the other room. Gemma, could you possibly grab me a cushion pad? This is, hope she'll hear me. A cushion pad out of the base of the chest on chest that's in the sitting room. It's the very, very bottom drawer. It's that big wooden thing in the sitting room. Oh, you can hear me. Great, great, great. Could you please grab me a cushion pad, because I forgot.
I wasn't listening.
You weren't listening. Can you hear me now? In the bottom of the chest on chest in the sitting room, the whole bottom drawer is dedicated to cushion pads. Yep. My drawers are that exciting. That exciting. In the meantime, whilst Gemma does that, let's talk covered buttons. Now, the covered buttons that I've got for you guys are metal. I've run out of metal, and I've got my lesser favourite plastic. So, how do we do this? So, if you are working with something like the Liberty, the lawn, which is a finer fabric, either put a little bit of something behind it, be it a little bit of interfacing, or just double up the fabric. I doubled up the fabric. You can see a little bit through it, just because it's a thinner fabric. So that's absolutely fine. On the button on the one behind me on the dresser, that's denim, so that's a thicker fabric, so that's absolutely fine. Yay! Is that an 18-inch one?
Well, there was only 2 in the bottom.
Are there only 2? Am I down to my last 2?
Well, there was another packet.
Oh, I don't know if this is going to be the right size. It doesn't say what size. How very rude. Does anybody else have a drawer of Thanks anyway. Oh, I think it's perfect, Gem. I think you did a good job. I always like to get in and stuff into those corners. It's looking good. Oh yeah, they're all 18-inch ones. Yeah. Oh, ooh, right, yeah. So just have a moment there. Loving this. So we're just going to get a button to go on there. And I don't mind seeing a bit of that white under there. If you want to pop a different colour cushion in there, I actually, thinking about it, I found wherever I go, if I see cheap cushion fillings, I always get them. And in IKEA, I found like a gold one, so I could put that in there. But you could always just put a dark covering on there, or whatever you wanted. But actually, I really don't mind just seeing that. Oh, I just think that's lush. So let's cover the button. I'm going to cover it with the denim. First things first, find yourself some of your fabric, cut a little square of it. Let's do this on a close-up. We're going to, you know how you make a Suffolk puff and you sort of stitch around the edge and then pull it in? We're going to kind of do that with the button. Now, we've got lots of buttons on the website, and they're all different sizes, and they are metal ones. Now, all I've done here to get the size is find sort of my centery bit, fold that into quarters, pop that on there and give myself a seam allowance. that is all I've done. And then let's see. Yeah, that's probably a little bit too big, so I'll just trim that back just a little bit. We also have self-cover button maker things on the show, which I'm very intrigued. They haven't arrived yet because I wanted to give them a good road test, but they haven't actually arrived, so I haven't tried it yet. Right, somewhere I had a needle this morning. Tell you what, let's find that needle. Let's grab us a needle. Dink, dink, dink. Hand needles, that will do. See, normally, at least a little bit of this is prepared, but Can anyone else never get them out of the packet? It's really bad practice. Don't do that. Right, let's get a bit of this. Bit of thread. And do you know what would be lovely actually is to do a mini one. So Freddie, my son, is 6 and he's starting to lose his teeth. I say starting to lose. They're just all of a sudden they're just dropping out everywhere. So he's not sure if he lost one in the bath the other day or if he swallowed it. He can't quite remember, but the said tooth is gone. And he lost his 2 top teeth and his 2 bottom teeth and just sits there sticking his tongue through, which drives me mad. And so I'm like, right. But actually, could you imagine making a mini cushion like this? And you could seal it to put teeth on and have it as like the tooth fairy cushion. I might have to do that for him. And so that, because otherwise, you know, I'm pretty sure that we're not the only one that has a tooth fairy that is carefully rummaging around underneath the cushion to try to find said teeth. That's the thing that happens. Now all I'm doing is a straight stitch all the way round. There we go. So I've done a straight stitch all the way around. I'm going to place my button in the middle and then I'm going to pull up. Okay. Now, yeah, this is too big, but we might get away with it. So you need to do it so that the middle bit is showing, and if I'd done it a little bit smaller, I'd got a little bit carried away there, but you can see that's going to cover that button there like that. So if you're using a stretch fabric, what you want to do is, there we go, and then just place the back on there. Voila! One button. If you're using a stretch fabric, then all you'll do with a stretch fabric is cut your fabric to that size. Just make sure that your needle can go through, that there isn't too much fabric pressing that through. The smaller you do your stitches, now if I were doing this and time was no object, then there you go, you can just ease any little bits under there. But if I was doing this and time was no object, then I would probably trim that back a little bit and go in again. But actually, from the front, that's pretty neat. I'm happy with that. And then it's all good to stitch on. Now, you could put a little bit of elastic onto there, just like black elastic, just a hoop elastic to hoop onto there. I'm actually going to stitch this. I'm just going to stitch this shut. So I'm going to find my center point. Oh, before we do that, let me just show you why we did. How neat are those seams? It's gorgeous, isn't it? So I don't mind looking in there and seeing all of that because it's so beautifully finished and it feels gorgeous. And so I'm just going to find my center spot there. and I will stitch it closed. But like I say, if you've got actually even a hairband, weirdly works. You know, the just like the natural coloured ones. If you wanted to sew that in, just so that you can hook it over, and then just stitching on my button. I cannot wait to put this on the sofa. It's gonna look amazing. Stephen's gonna come home and go, oh, another cushion. Like, yep. Yep. One more round. There we go. Through. There we go. And that is that button on. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I love it, is the cushion that I have wanted to make for so many years and just never got around to. So where you do see that flesh, you just see that flash on the inside. I heart that very, very much. Do you want a pattern, or is it easy enough for you? Let me know. Let me know. I'm thrilled with it. I'm really happy with that. So good morning to everybody. Can you get the rotary cutter you're using, please, Natasha? It's on the web. The rotary cutter. This one. That's on the website. We've got stock of it. I'll just check whether or not I uploaded it when I got more. Claire has finished Smurf number 7. Well done you. Well done you. Elizabeth, give yourself a break and turn the mat the right way. Sorry, was that annoying people? I know some people like things straight. Alison's got her grandson today. She's going to catch up later. And she says, thank you to your team for sorting out her query promptly. Do you know what? SJ is a whiz at that. She's fab. Morning, Natasha. Sorry I'm late to the party. Had to drop Son's car off for fixing. Jacqueline, that's absolutely fine. Don't worry. Lovely to have you. Is that what you use for the wrap? Yes, it is. I think it's about $9.99 a metre on the website, and we've got lots of different colours of it, and it's particularly beautiful. Sil says, yeah, love that fabric, it's stunning. It really is. Yeah, Julia says she's not a great fan of paisley, but loves this fabric. Mine is draped around the mannequin, so I can just look at it for now. Yeah, yeah. And I am in the middle of making a sky wrap, and I've lined my sky wrap with it. I used some offcuts from Savile Row. It's beautiful, even if I do say so myself. And it's like, yeah, in a different colour of this. It's just beautiful. And oh, hello Desiree, you're watching. Good morning. And Victoria, and oh, Becky says the studio looks fabulous. All that hard work has really paid off. Looks really cozy. Do you know, I love the studio. I love our new studio, and yeah, it definitely feels more me. Definitely. Any more messages before we have to go? We do. I don't know if you meant rotary cutter, or if it's that. We've got 2 of those that came in, and we've also got the square ones as well. Excellent. And that's a message to say that all of the fabric will be here tomorrow. So that's the red and the navy of the jacquard will be here tomorrow. Oh, Sue says, hope Stephen is all right. Thank you, Sue. Yeah, he came down this morning telling me that he was having a heart attack. And I sort of thought, if you're walking down the stairs, you're possibly not having a heart attack. I took a gamble on that. Anyway, he had chest pains and whatnot, but turns out they think it's just, I say just, it's not very nice, is it? They think he's got a virus on his heart. So I shall be ringing him now and pestering him. I did the school run, and we waved at the ambulance as it collected him and whisked him off to hospital. So yeah, a fun old morning, really. So yeah, that's what's going on at the McCarthy household. So yeah. Alrighty then. there's nothing I can do, can I? I can't go into hospital. So yeah. Thank you guys very much for letting me make something beautiful and take my mind, I want everyone to see that button, and take my mind off everything. That's why we sew, isn't it? One of the many reasons that we sew, and why a lot of us have sewed this year. So take care, lots of love. Jane will bring us that gorgeous, gorgeous quilt tomorrow that she's worked so very hard on, and that we had great fun choosing all of the fabric colours for. So in the meantime, stay safe, stay home, stay sewing, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.